Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. I am Rashmi HS, Research Associate, BS Lab, DESC, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So today's lecture we are going to learn about piezoelectric polymers. Before we start with the actual piezoelectric polymers, we need to know some basic concepts related to piezoelectric materials. So these piezoelectric materials, these are a class of dielectric materials which are also known as smart materials. Smart material means these materials they will be having they will be showing reproducible, significant as well as stable variation with only one property under applied stress condition. This piezoelectricity, it can be defined as the formation of surface charge on the material whenever some stress is applied on the material. So this piezoelectric effect, it can be either direct piezoelectric effect or indirect. So from the figure you can see here, in case of direct piezoelectric effect, the material it is subjected to electrical field or electrical stress under which it will develop a surface charge that leads to the piezoelectric effect. Here there will be a conversion of electrical energy into mechanical energy takes place, and in case of indirect piezoelectric effect, here some sort of mechanical stress is applied on the material under which the deformation in the material takes place that leads to the piezoelectricity. And here in indirect piezoelectric effect, the conversion of mechanical energy into electrical energy takes place. So this piezoelectricity, it was first time discovered by two scientists, Jacques and Pierre Curie, in 1880 when they were working with quartz crystal. So this piezoelectric materials, they will be having a non-centrosymmetric structure, because of which these materials they are able to show the piezoelectric property. Apart from that, these piezoelectric materials they also have electromechanical conversion properties. So this property it allows the material to convert any kind of stress applied on the material such as pH, temperature, pressure or ultrasonic waves etc. into electrical energy. So because of this good electromechanical behavior of these piezoelectric materials, these materials are capable of regulating multiple physiological functions such as apoptosis, cell migration, cell proliferation etc. Hence these materials they have found widespread application in biomedicine. Next, coming to the classification of these piezoelectric materials. These piezoelectric materials broadly they are categorized into inorganic piezoelectric materials and organic piezoelectric materials. If we come to the inorganic piezoelectric materials, in inorganic piezoelectric materials, as the name itself says, these are derived from inorganic materials such as some ions, sodium, potassium, like that we say. So those inorganic counterparts will be present in these inorganic piezoelectric materials, and the best example we can quote here is zinc oxide, barium titanate, indium nitride, lead zirconate titanate, gallium nitride etc. So next, if we come to the organic piezoelectric materials, so these organic piezoelectric materials they are nothing but the materials that are composed of carbon and hydrogen. So these organic piezoelectric materials further they are classified into two classes, biopiezoelectric polymers and synthetic piezoelectric polymers. So these biopiezoelectric polymers they are nothing but the piezoelectric materials which are from biological origin, and example for such biopolymers are Chitosan, PLGA, cellulose, polylactic acid, collagen etc. Coming to the synthetic polymers, in case of synthetic piezoelectric polymers, so these are the polymers which are prepared or produced within labs, they can be synthesized. So that is why the name synthetic polymers, and these synthetic polymers examples are PVDF, polyacetonitrile, PDMS, polyurea and polyamide. So these both inorganic piezoelectric materials and organic piezoelectric material they have good piezoelectric property which can be widely utilized in biomedical applications. So next coming to the inorganic piezoelectric materials, which are also said to be the piezoceramics. In case of these materials, the piezoelectricity, it is generated from the asymmetrical charge distribution within the crystal under applied stress. So when there is a asymmetrical charge distribution takes place, there will be a polarization of the material that takes place. So when this polarization takes place, so there will be a generation of piezoelectricity. So example for piezoceramics are, we have already seen, they are nothing but like barium titanate, zinc oxide, gallium nitride, anything it could be. And coming to the advantages of these piezoceramics, so these piezoceramic materials, they have higher dielectric and piezoelectric coefficients and as well as electromechanical factors. So high dielectric as well as piezoelectric coefficient help in the successive polarization of the material leading to the enhanced piezoelectric property. But these materials, apart from this, they have some disadvantages, such as the nature of the material, it is highly brittle. So the brittle nature of the material, it poses complications during the processing, and also this electrospinning, which is a widely used well known technique in order to enhance the piezoelectric property of the material. In case of this electrospinning, so this brittle nature of the material, it makes the piezoceramics incompatible for electrospinning process, because during electrospinning the material is subjected for high mechanical stress, and under that conditions these materials, they cannot withstand the stress, and thereby there will be a destruction of crystal structure takes place, that leads to the destruction of piezoelectric property. So that is why always these piezoceramic materials, they are used as additives or as blends along with the piezopolymers during applications, because making of blends or using them as additives, it helps in improving the mechanical property of the final material. Next coming to the piezoelectric polymers. So these piezoelectric polymers, as the name itself says, these are the polymeric materials. Polymers, these are nothing but the macromolecules with giant structure, which are composed of large number of monomeric units that are connected to each other. So these piezoelectric polymers, in order to show their piezoelectric property, they must and should possess molecular dipoles in the structural arrangement. So molecular dipoles are nothing but any groups that can provide charge on the material, such as hydroxyl group, NH2 group, or carbonyl group, or COO group, or any ester linkage, like that. So this piezoelectricity, in case of this material, it is mainly generated by the reorientation and alignment of these molecular dipoles under the applied stress. These piezopolymers, they can be either semicrystalline or amorphous in nature. So semicrystalline nature of piezopolymers means, in case of these polymers, they will contain a mixture of tiny ferroelectric crystals that are dispersed within the amorphous polymer matrix. The best example we can quote for a semicrystalline polymer is PVDF. Apart from that, these semicrystalline polymers, when they are subjected for a process called poling in order to enhance its piezoelectric power, so these dipoles present in the material, they undergo reorientation and alignment in such a way that they are going to give enhanced or increased piezoelectric power to the material. Next coming to the amorphous piezopolymers. In case of amorphous piezopolymers, so these polymers, they also possess dipoles in their structure, but they will not be having the long range order of arrangement. So that is why when these material, when they are subjected for poling process, so they will not attain a state of thermal equilibrium, due to which these amorphous piezopolymers, they found less application in any biomedical devices. Next coming to the piezopolymers, that is the crystalline nature. So, any polymer in order to exhibit piezoelectricity, it must and should possess crystalline nature. So, crystalline nature, it helps in orientation as well as complete polarization of the material to improve the piezoelectric power. So, this crystallinity of any polymeric material or in general any piezo material, it can be enhanced by a process of poling. So, poling means it is a process wherein there will be a enhancement of piezoelectric nature of the material by subjecting the material to a high temperature and high electric field. Under this condition, there will be a reorientation as well as alignment of the polar charge groups takes place, leading to ordered arrangement that finally leads to the improved piezoelectric effect. And here in figure 3, you can see in case of neutral molecules, the charges they are arranged randomly, and whenever this neutral molecule it is subjected for some compressive force or any stress, so there will be a alignment and reorientation of the charges that takes place, which leads to the piezoelectric nature of the material. So, in case of this poling process, we can see two different types of poling. One is contact poling and another one is corona poling. So, contact poling means here in figure 4 I have given that in contact poling, the bulk piezoelectric material, it is sandwiched between the two electrodes, and thereby we are going to apply the current on the material. So, whenever we apply the current, there will be a orientation as well as alignment of the crystal structure takes place, leading to the piezoelectricity. And in case of this contact poling, the cooling of the material will be done in sandwiched condition itself, because we need to preserve the aligned crystals as it is in order to maintain the piezoelectricity. So, next coming to the corona poling. In case of corona poling, here we can see the bulk piezoelectric material, it is coated on one side with the electrode material and other side will be free. Under this condition, we are going to apply current on the material, which helps in the reorientation and alignment of charges and thereby piezoelectricity. So, next coming to the advantages of these piezoelectric polymers. So, these piezoelectric polymers, as they are basically polymers, they combine the advantages of piezoelectric effect as well as polymer structure. So, that is why they have very good flexibility, lightweight, mechanical properties. Along with that, they exhibit good strength. The strength of the material depending on the polymer, it will be very good, and also they show high impact resistance. These materials are highly sensitive to voltage, and also they show low acoustic as well as mechanical impedance characters. These materials, as they are able to form films, so those on the films we will be able to pattern different type of electrodes by using different techniques, patterning techniques such as lithography and all. So, these materials, they also show low piezoelectric strain constant, but the piezoelectric stress constant of the materials will be very high, which is one major advantage of this material. Apart from that, the devices that are produced by these materials, they will be less expensive, because the material that is used, the piezopolymer, it will be fabricated in a cost effective way with very easy processing techniques. And then the polymer based devices, they do not require any micro fabrication facilities such as micro machining and all in order to fabricate them. So, that is why the cost of these polymer based devices will be reduced also. So, next let us study about important piezoelectric polymers that are majorly used in biomedical applications. So, coming to the first polymer, that is PVDF. This PVDF, it is nothing but polyvinylidene difluoride or polyvinylidene fluoride. This PVDF, it was first time discovered by H. Kawai and this is the first polymeric material studied with piezoelectricity. So, this PVDF, it is a semi-crystalline material and it has good dielectric properties also. This material, it is highly biocompatible but not biodegradable. The material, it shows 5 major polymorphic forms. Those forms are nothing but alpha form, beta form, sigma as well as epsilon form or phase. Among these 5 forms, the 4 forms are polar in nature and only one form of the material is non-polar, that is nothing but alpha form. So, this alpha form is non-polar form and remaining are polar forms. But basically this material, it exists in alpha form. Generally it exists in alpha form, but this alpha form can be converted or transformed to the highly piezoelectric form of this PVDF, that is beta form or beta phase. So, here in the structure you can see this is the structure of beta phase of the PVDF, wherein the arrangement of hydrogen atoms as well as fluoride atoms, they are in a orderly manner. All the fluoride atoms are arranged on one side of the carbon and the hydrogen atoms are arranged on another side of the carbon. So, due to the separation of these different functional groups properly throughout the polymer chain, the material it undergoes effective polarization when it is subjected for any kind of stress. So, due to that reason the material, it shows good piezoelectric properties. And among these 5 forms, the beta phase of the material, it has largest electric dipole and that is why it is the most widely used form in case of biomedical applications. So, this piezoelectric polymer, that is PVDF, so as always it exists in the form of alpha form, which is not piezoelectric. So, the piezoelectric power of this alpha form or the PVDF, it can be increased or enhanced by a process called electrospinning. So, in this electrospinning process, the solution of the polymer is prepared and the solution is subjected for high mechanical stress, under which it will form fibric structure of the material, and thereby the alignment of the crystals of this PVDF takes place from alpha to beta form, and thereby it shows piezoelectricity. This PVDF, it has high piezoelectric coefficient compared to any other polymers known, and it shows the piezoelectricity in the range of 13 to 28, and this piezoelectric coefficient of the material, it depends on the content of beta phase that is present in the PVDF. This PVDF, the enhancement of piezoelectricity of this material, it can be brought about by using various techniques such as stretching of the material, polarization of the material under electric field, and thermal annealing as well as filler incorporation. So, any of these techniques, they successively increase the beta phase content of the material and thereby increase in piezoelectricity. So, that is due to these reasons this PVDF, it has application in regenerative medicine more. So, in case of regenerative medicine in bone, neural as well as cardiac tissue engineering, it is widely used as a patch that helps in regeneration of the damaged tissues. So, next coming to the second polymer, that is PLA, polylactic acid. This polylactic acid, it is a homopolymer of lactic acid. The lactic acid units, they are linked to one another to form this polylactic acid, and this material is again, it is a semi-crystalline material and which is a synthetic material. So, it is synthesized by the fermentation of sugar. The sugar content present in any of the vegetables such as potatoes, corn, molasses or anything. So, that when it undergoes fermentation process, it leads to the generation of lactic acid and thereby polylactic acid. So, this polylactic acid, it is present in different enantiomeric forms. Depending on the monomeric unit, so whatever the enantiomeric form of the monomeric unit, so based on that the polylactic acid will have its enantiomeric forms, and this monomer, that is lactic acid, it exists in 3 different forms. One is called as plus lactic acid or D-lactic acid, and another one is called L-lactic acid, and the last one is nothing but the racemic mixture, that is DL lactic acid. So, all the 3 forms this polylactic acid is available, and the majorly used lactic acid in case of biomedicine is nothing but poly L lactic acid, the L form of the material. So, this poly L lactic acid, it shows intrinsic polarization property, and that is why we need not to process this material by any other techniques such as elongation or compression or anything in order to improve its piezoelectric behavior. And this in case of this polylactic acid, the piezoelectricity, it is a result of displacement of the carbonyl group that is present in the polymeric chain. Here in the figure 6 you can see there is a presence of carbonyl groups throughout the chain of polylactic acid. So, whenever the displacement of these carbonyl groups in the material takes place, that leads to the generation of piezoelectricity. And major disadvantage of this polylactic acid is nothing but its biodegradability. During biodegradation, so this polylactic acid, it undergoes degradation by hydrolysis process, and whatever the hydrolytic products that are generated, that are nothing but the lactic acid majorly. Whenever PLA undergoes hydrolysis, it produces lactic acid, and this lactic acid, it is acidic in nature, due to which it poses some serious health hazards to the living beings. Apart from that, so this polylactic acid, it is highly brittle in nature. The brittle nature of polylactic acid makes it mechanically weak. The mechanical properties of the material also very poor, and due to this brittle nature of the material, it will have hydrophobic character. So, due to this hydrophobic character, so it cannot be properly attached to the cell surface or cell membrane within the cell. So, due to that reason, it has found less application in tissue engineering fields, and major application of this material, it is found in drug delivery systems. So, the next polymer is nothing but chitosan. So, this chitosan, it is a polymer that is from animal origin. Chitin that is present in the exoskeleton of the any insects, when it undergoes deacetylation, it leads to the generation of chitosan. So, this chitosan, it has a non-centrosymmetric structure, due to which it shows piezoelectricity. So, in the structure here you can see the presence of amino as well as hydroxyl group in the material. So, this amine group as well as hydroxyl group, they are going to give polarity to the molecule. So, that is why when it is subjected for stress, the polarization of the material takes place, and thereby piezoelectricity of the material can be observed. So, this chitosan, it has structural similarities with glycosaminoglycans. These glycosaminoglycans, these are the components that are found in cells. Usually the membrane of any cell, it contains one or the other type of glycosaminoglycans as the receptors for many of the ligands to attach. So, as this material, it has structural similarity to this glycosaminoglycans, so it confirms the biocompatible nature of this material. Apart from this chitosan, it is highly hydrophilic, because the groups that are present in the material here, OH or the NH2 groups, they are highly polar in nature, which are able to form hydrogen bonding with the surrounding environment easily. So, that is why it increases the hydrophilic behavior of the material, and apart from that the material is biodegradable also. and one major disadvantage of this material is nothing but its poor mechanical property. So, but this mechanical property of the material, it can be increased by forming composites of this material with any other known polymers. So, one research group, it has studied the combination of this chitosan with PLA for cardiac regeneration applications, wherein they have observed that the addition of chitosan to the PLA matrix, it has helped in improving the hydrophilic character of the final scaffold. Along with that, it promoted the cardiac cell adherence that improves the cell elongation as well as tensile strength. Next polymer, that is nothing but collagen. So, collagen, all of us know, it is a animal origin. It is a major polymer that is absorbed in case of bones, ligaments, tendons as well as cartilage. So, this collagen, it is a natural piezoelectric polymer, and the structure of the collagen, if you see here in the figure, it has a triple helical structure. That means it consists of 3 polymeric chains that are twisted around each other to form the structure. And in case of each chain of this polymer, it consists of number of amino acids that are linked through peptide bonds to form the polymeric chain. And this in this collagen, the majorly found 4 amino acids are glycine, alanine, proline as well as hydroxyproline. So, among these 4, the glycine as well as hydroxyproline, these are the 2 amino acids which are responsible for the piezoelectric behavior of this collagen material. So, here the structure of glycine as well as hydroxyproline is given in figure 8. So, based on the arrangement of this glycine structure within the polymeric chain, the piezoelectric property is going to vary. And this glycine is the main amino acid which has a shear piezoelectric coefficient of around 178, and hydroxyproline is having the shear piezoelectric coefficient of around 4. So, due to this reason, the collagen, it becomes intrinsically piezoelectric. And this, apart from this collagen being biological origin, it is highly biocompatible material and it undergoes biodegradation also. Along with that, it possesses various amino acids in its polymeric structure which makes the polymer hydrophilic in nature, and due to which the addition of this particular collagen based scaffold to the cell will be very easy. The major limitation of this collagen for use in biomedical field is that this material, it undergoes very fast degradation. Being biological origin, degradation of the material is very fast. Apart from that, the mechanical property of this material is also very low. So, that is why so many researchers, they have tried to improve the mechanical property of the material by using different cross linking agents and also by making different composites of collagen with various other polymers. But during the usage of cross linking agents such as glutaraldehyde used cross linker, finally it is going to show some poisonous effect on the cells where it is used. So, that is also is there one major drawback. Even though we use cross linkers such as glutaraldehyde, we need to consider the hazardous nature of those cross linkers also. So, next another important piezoelectric polymer that is studied is poly 3-hydroxybutyrate 3-hydroxyvalerate, in short it is called as PHBV. So, this PHBV, it belongs to a class of polyhydroxy alkanoates where it will have esteric functional group. Here you can see. So, ester functional groups are present in the material. So, that is why it belongs to a class of polyalkanoate, and this polyalkanoate, it is nothing but a polyester material synthesized from a bacteria under excessive carbon and nitrogen atmosphere. So, this PHBV, it is also one biocompatible polymer that shows biodegradability. Along with that, it has thermoplastic behavior. Thermoplastic behavior means this material when it is subjected for heating, it shows softening, and after that when the material is subjected for cooling, it gets hardened. So, apart from that, so this PHBV, it has found application in case of cardiac tissue engineering, wherein the PHBV, it is used in combination with the polycaprolactone PCl. So, when the combination or the composite of PCl with PHBV is applied in cardiac tissue engineering, so it has shown improvement in adhesion or the growth of myocardial cells as well as cardiac fibroblasts. Apart from that, this PHBV, it also known to promote angiogenesis, that means the synthesis or generation of new cells. So, that is why it has come out as a suitable material in order to enhance the cardiac repair. So, this PLGA, it has found major application in drug delivery system. The known drug delivery systems that are reported till today, so they are usually they will be based on this PLGA material. So, this PLGA, it is a copolymer made up of lactic acid and glycolic acid monomeric units which are joined together to form this polymer, and this material being biological origin, it is biodegradable as well as biocompatible. This material, as it contains two monomeric units that are lactic acid and glycolic acid, it is highly soluble in water, because these two monomeric units, they have the functional groups that are polar in nature. They are capable of forming hydrogen bond with water, and hence it shows great solubility in water, and due to which it has a tunable drug release characteristics also. And apart from that, in case of this PLGA, so within the PLGA matrix, we can encapsulate or we can add so many organic as well as inorganic materials of interest which are used as drugs to deliver it into the target area. Till now in research, so many materials such as antiseptics, antibiotics or antioxidant drugs or anti-cancerous drugs, they are encapsulated within this PLGA and they have been delivered to the target site successfully. Next, coming to the another important polymer, that is cellulose. So, the cellulose, it is a homopolysaccharide which is having linear arrangement of monomeric units. So, this homopolysaccharide, it consists of glucose units that are linked to one another to form this polymeric chain, that is cellulose. So, this cellulose, it is a polymer with non-symmetric structure, and apart from that, in case of this material, it shows intrinsic crystallinity. That means here the orderly arrangement of monomeric units in the polymeric chain, it helps in showing the crystalline nature, or it gives the crystallinity to the final material. So, this cellulose, it is widely used in three different forms, that is cellulose nanocrystals, cellulose nanofibers as well as bacterial nanocellulose. So, this cellulose, it has, apart from these characteristics, it has good mechanical behavior. The tensile strength of this cellulose is very good. So, due to that reason, the cellulose, it also finds its application in biomedical or biomedicine. That is all for today's lecture. If you have any doubts, feel free to contact us.